What is good? Osiris here, stuck in the middle. You'll never guess how they tried to smear Kari Lake. She made one of the most simple based statements that you could make: fire the federal government.
We need to fire the federal government.
Instead of rolling with that, they tried to smear her as some type of Looney Tune. The Lincoln Project did.
We need to send a very big message to the federal government that we're not going to take this anymore. We need to fire the federal government.
Interesting idea. Maybe it's a good idea. Of course, 42% of Arizona's budget comes from the federal government, so that would require a 72% increase in state taxes to fill the gap. You got that kind of money? No more Social Security checks. No more Medicare. Luke Air Force Base? Gone. In fact, say goodbye to most of the Air Force, Army, Marine bases all over the state. Arizona students would need to figure something else out because federal student aid would have to go. And sadly, all the national parks, including the Grand Canyon, well, they'd have to close. And we'd also lose all of our air traffic controllers, which sounds fun. But hey, drug traffickers would be happy. There wouldn't be a DEA in the state anymore.
We need to fire the federal government.
Right now, Kari Lake is just a kook with crazy ideas. But if Arizona elects her for governor, her crazy ideas could crush Arizona's economy, raise our taxes, make our communities less safe, and turn Arizona into a national joke. Does this still sound like a good idea?
It's funny. The idea that we need to fire the government doesn't sound so kooky. Even the Lincoln Project acknowledges that.
We need to fire the federal government.
Interesting idea. Maybe it's a good idea.
In the beginning of the ad, they play Kari Lake saying, we should fire the federal government. And then right after that, because it sounds so based and good right now for many people, peacefully, of course, that the Lincoln Project, even the Lincoln Project had to say, maybe it's a good idea.
Interesting idea. Maybe it's a good idea. Interesting idea. Maybe it's a good idea.
Notice the ad did not say anything refuting the argument that the federal government basically is out of control. Why did they have to add, maybe it's a good idea? Well, because 74% of Americans probably think it's a good idea right now.
Just 21% of adults say we are heading in the right direction. And once again, 3 out of 4 Americans say we are on the wrong track. In fact, this number, never before in our poll, has this wrong track number been over 70% for this long. It's been nearly a year now. 58%, by the way, say America's best years are behind us.
Interesting idea. Maybe it's a good idea.
They actually had to acknowledge,
Interesting idea. Maybe it's a good idea.
maybe it's a good idea, because in general, 74% of Americans, according to this NBC poll, are angry, disappointed, and worried. And they might listen to Kari Lake and say, I'm angry, disappointed, and worried. How's the federal government doing right about now? Not so good. Does it look like the federal government's going to correct course anytime soon? Not so much. And maybe it's not that bad of an idea. They might actually listen to Kari Lake. The message of the ad is to fearmonger about taxes and where are you going to make up this money? How are you going to have this peaceful divorce? Who gets the property? Who gets the car? Who gets the house? How do you divide all of that up? Oh, there are a lot of complications if you are in a marriage that's abusive and it's not easy to get out of. It doesn't matter who gets the car. It doesn't matter who gets the house. You're getting your ass kicked. Leave. It's kind of like someone telling you not to leave your abuser because you might have to get a job. Things might get tough financially. Oh, no, it's even worse than that. It's like someone telling you not to leave your abuser because you might have to get a job, and that message being sponsored by friends of the abuser. Well, no, it's not. It's worse than that. It's like someone telling you not to leave your abuser because you might have to get a job, and the people with that message are actually financially tied into the abuser. They're former employees of the abuser. They get employed because their views match the abuser. So there's a conflict of interest. And on top of that, the person with that message, they did a fake hoax to attempt to make people look racist with a tiki torch and a black guy holding a tiki torch as a white supremacist.
Are y'all seeing this? Do you see what I see? Look at this. Tiki torch guys, so-called racist, white supremacists in front of a Glenn Youngkin bus in Charlottesville, Virginia. Why do they have tiki torches in the rain? They're soaking wet. Look at their shirts. Soaking wet. And what's going on, my man, right here? Do you see him? The black white supremacist?
Wait. It's worse. On top of all that, there were accusations from 20 young men from their co-founder of sexual abuse.
The anti-Donald Trump group, the Lincoln Project, condemning its co-founder, John Weaver. The New York Times reporting allegations from nearly 24 men who say that Weaver sent them sexually provocative messages, often suggesting that he could help them get work in politics.
So here we are with a choose your own adventure. On one side, you have Kari Lake, who's a patriot and talks about bringing God back into our lives.
We've got to bring him back. Right? When we kicked God out, that is when our troubles began. And we got to invite God back into our culture. We've got to invite God back into our homes. And we have got to invite God back into our hearts.
On the other side, you have a group founded by an alleged MAP. They are known liars. They are tied into the abuser, and they're trying to tell you not to leave. Let me know what you think. Take care. What you see here with Lincoln Project trying to smear Kari Lake is exactly why I did the MAGA versus the Machine merch. Link in the description. I've got different types: the dark MAGA, the heart with the American flag, plaid MAGA for those Tesla fans out there, and MAGA versus the Machine and sweaters, tank tops for women as well. It's not just a saying, it's for real. And if you're hesitant on MAGA, replace that word with populist and see if it hits a little bit different. Take care.